Christmas is about to go wild with this. And once again, hello everyone. LBT once again, and welcome back to another LBT Power Ranger podcast where we left off the last time because the last Power Ranger podcast that we did is with Forever Red from Wall Force, and not to mention with Dino Charge and Dino Thunder back in June, the Jurassic June of 2023, and other things going on. And not to mention, we also did some Power Ranger podcasts with Shamar's channel with Beast Morphers and all the other things in the franchise. And not to mention that amazing podcast of Power Rangers Cosmic Fury with a good friend of mine known as Movie Universe. If you want to check out his channel, I'll put a link so that way you guys could go subscribe to the guy and see how amazing it is. But back to the podcast. Why I haven't doing podcasts in a while? Because I was busy with all the other stuff, and it's been a while since I haven't been doing Power Ranger podcasts, and yeah, Shamar and I are going to do another Power Ranger podcast and other Power Ranger fans along the way. And it's not just me, but two Rangers in action. No dinosaur figures today, just these two Power Rangers, the Red Ranger and the Green Ranger from Dino Fury. Yeah, sadly, Pink Ranger's no longer there anymore. So, yeah. And hello, everyone. Sorry about the background noise, but back to this podcast. So, today's podcast that we're doing is a Christmas special of Power Rangers that me and Shamar will do this podcast for Power Rangers Dino Charge, and it's about to get wild. As usual. Usual as always, and I'll be right back, and got a lot of things going on, so stay. Yeah, back to this podcast that we're about to do, and Shamar, my friend Shamar, who's a fan of Power Rangers just like me. If you want to pop into the stream, here's the link, Shamar, because you and I have a lot to talk about when it comes to doing Power Ranger podcasts, especially the ones that we have been doing for the last centuries, and especially how we come up with something all the way to beginning the end. And so like I said, Shamar, if you want to join into this Power Ranger podcast, just click the link so that way you could check out this podcast. So you and I had a lot of things to talk about, and yeah. So stay tuned, and yeah. I really hope you're there, Shamar, because and not to mention, the last podcast that we all did is with this Cosmic Fury from Movie Fan or the Movie Universe. We actually did a good job, and if I made any errors and all that type of stuff, then I apologize. So yeah, at least I was part of the podcast this time because I'm a Power Ranger fan, just like Movie Universe and Shamar, and even with Anthony, who's also a fan of Power Rangers as well. So if you want to check out that stream, go to his channel and see the podcast, and then type the channel Movie Universe. I mean, he's a really good friend of mine, and I've made friends with him ever since July, ever since we did the remake and all that stuff. But this podcast for Cosmic Fury is really, really cool, and I might do a review for Power Rangers Cosmic Fury soon, after when I did my review for Godzilla King of the Monsters. So there's just that. And so don't worry, Shamer. Well, as always, it's about to get wild. Okay, buddy. Oh, there you are, Shamer.
Hey,
Huh?
Ranger here.
Thank goodness you made it there on time.
Yeah.
I was about to do this podcast for Power Rangers Dino Charge, the Christmas special, and yeah, at least we got a fun time with the Movie Universe's channel with Cosmic Fury, and it was really amazing. And yeah, so I got my two Power Ranger figures right over there. I didn't bring any dinosaur figures today, just Power Ranger figures, and yeah, and all the other superhero stuff in general and all that stuff. Because
Indeed.
yeah, so today's podcast that we're doing is Race to the Rescue Christmas from Power Rangers Dino Charge.
Ooh.
And yeah. Huh. So in the beginning of the episode, it felt like a mixture with Thanksgiving and Christmas, which is interesting because I mean I like the idea of Christmas and Thanksgiving collaborating with each other and all that stuff. Like, man, look at all that food and
Yeah.
yeah, this is a big memory where yeah, showing all these memories and all that stuff, and Tyler was being stuck inside of that T-Rex skull, and oh boy, dang, it was they enter, yeah. Oh, and another thing I wanted to point out is that Chase has to go to his family's house for Christmas and he decided to give presents to each of one of them and all that. Which,
Oh
spoiler
yeah,
alert,
it's
you'll
about
find out in the
his little
ending.
sister.
So,
Yeah.
are you ready for Christmas in 2023? Because I sure hope so. After all these,
Oh,
oh, and speaking of
yeah.
Christmas, Santa appears in this show, where Santa was being was
He was
having his school computer, and then it was being robbed by a Sledge and his monsters. Like, it seems kind of, yeah. I think the monsters are
yeah.
just there just to eliminate Christmas. That's what they're going for and all that.
Yeah,
Which,
they were trying to steer Santa and steer the computer, so they're
yeah,
trying to be the way it's good. But I think the Power Rangers were good.
yeah. I mean, proving that which character is nice and which character is naughty. And yeah, yep. Oh yeah, there's Ranch and Poisandra. They kidnapped Santa's computer, proving which character is nice and which character is naughty. Like, oh man. Oh boy. Yep. Oh, toast that on front. You big whiny baby named Ranch.
Oh man.
And Poisandra. He. Yep.
In the Japanese version, those two turned to be good.
Oh yeah, both Poisandra and Ranch. And not to
Yeah.
mention that that monster that looked like he came right out from Coraline. Yep. The first thing, yep, the first ranger they check is Riley, the green Dino Charge Ranger. And then, yep. I mean, Riley is a good Green Ranger in my opinion.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think he's better than Jake from Super Mega because both what bothers me about Megaforce and Super Mega is that they turn angels and then they turn into pirates, which seems random and all that stuff. Hell, Anthony and Movie Fan talked about this in the Cosmic Fury live stream. Like,
Yeah.
yep, Riley is nice.
Indeed. And he's also the greatest Ranger. That is my favorite. That's why is a lot focused than other Rangers, but mostly Wally is my character, my favorite character.
Yeah, I like Riley. As a matter of fact, I'd rather do LBT's top five Green Rangers in the Power Ranger series, like Bridge from SPD and Xander from Mystic Force, and even with Riley and Mike from Samurai, or Ziggy, yeah, from RPM. I mean, he's a good Green Ranger too, and that goes with Tommy. Tommy from the original Mighty Morphin. Rather top five. It's rather top six Green Rangers. Oh my lord.
Yeah.
And oh yeah, the next Ranger that they checked for the list is Shelby, Dino Charge Pink, and spoiler alert, I do have a Dino Charge Pink Ranger at the time. I do have the pink Dino Charge Ranger, but not anymore because I gave it to a friend of mine on
Yeah.
the back in November, and huh, oh boy, yeah. Decided to put my dinosaur figures, I mean Power Ranger figures up close just to see their point of view, and so yeah, back at Chase's home where Chase's sister and his mother, yeah, and the news reporter, they're like breaking news where Santa's computer has been stolen by sledge monsters, and
Yeah.
yeah, so we're back to that, and then the next Ranger they checked on his coda, proving how strong coda is, and I mean, yeah, I like that moment where Coda was saving his younger brother from a Smilodont, and
Oh yeah.
I'll admit that the Smilodont design looks kind of weird looking because of its
Yeah.
furriness. I mean, it looked like it came right out from Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous, which, by the
Yeah.
way,
Did they even make this designs way? It's should have Wee's design for some uh Elvis or some I forgot the series, but we should do should have done it as accurate as possible.
yeah, yeah, I mean, the Smilodon here felt like it came right out from Camp Cretaceous, which, by the way,
Yeah.
Dino Charge came out a few years before Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous. So, yeah, the Smilodon, which it looks fine, but, like, that's not how. I think I agree with you, Shamer. I think I agree with you. And
Yeah.
besides, the modeling does not hold up a single bit.
For example, for Super Sentai, they did actually a lot accurate for the animation for Sonoran and the dinosaurs
Yeah.
for Koinja.
Oh, and not to mention, oh, and remember that TV show Zoo Ranger, which is which Mighty Morphin was based on Zoo Ranger. They have
Yeah.
all these like dinosaur like They have these dinosaurs like the Tyrannosaurus, the Pteranodon, the Triceratops, the Mammoth, and the Smilodont, and they're pretty much they're they're pretty much accurate to their real like counterparts at the time back
Yeah.
in 1992, I believe. Yeah,
Yeah, it was
1992.
1982.
And not to mention, another thing I wanted to point out is that in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, why the hell did they call like a saber-tooth tiger and then they call a mammoth mastodon? Like, where did that come from?
I I was wondering the same thing, but they're not actually a dinosaur. They're actually a ice age. So they put those two together along with the dinosaurs. That's what they put in the league.
Yeah, I know, but still, like, yeah, they're part of the prehistoric life forms. Just because they're part of prehistory doesn't automatically make them dinosaurs as well. And same cannot be said about the pteranodon that was in Mighty Morphin, because this is why I prefer like seasons of Power Rangers like Dino Charge and Dino Thunder. Dino Thunder is my favorite out of the dinosaur themed Power Rangers because they have dinosaur Zords that are like accurate to their dino counterparts, like the Tyranno, the Tricera, and the Pteranodon. Not to
Yeah,
mention, they have like dinosaurs and not like mammals and all that stuff, like dinosaurs and pterosaurs from prehistory and all that stuff. Even
yeah,
Dino Charge did the same, but something very, very different. But as
yeah.
for Dino, yeah,
Oh, sorry, go ahead. I was going to speak, but Dino Thunder is the most favorite. They doing the accurate one.
pretty much Shamar. But as for Dino Fury, yeah, at least they got some of at least they got many of the prehistoric dinosaur creatures. But as for the Smilodon Zord, I can give that a pass. Which Dino Fury is kind of cool after all, and yep, there's yep. The next thing you know, the monster. But back to what I'm saying with the
Yeah,
Christmas one with Dino Charge. So they pick Coda as nice, and then they pick oh Chase
yeah. They
and
take place. Um, Ivan.
oh and Hey Hulkster and Super Matt and decided to. Me and Shamer are doing a Power Ranger podcast. I just want to say hi to them right quick. And oh boy, there's yeah, Chase saves saves the characters from that maze, which is kind of yeah. And yeah, I'm gonna show you that part where Chase has the abilities using that weapon of his just to drill up and then yeah, just to save everyone else in there. But
It's a blaster.
yeah, Blaster, Dino Charge Blaster, which is amazing. And huh, the more monsters they have in Power Rangers Dino Charge, the more jealous they have. And yep, and the Rangers are looking for Santa's computer that the monsters just stole,
Yeah,
and they're right in here. Yep, and the Vivics come along, and then they start fighting and all that. And Chase takes the lead for a morphing sequence. I mean, I actually like when each character decides to yeah, not to mention, I like how each character in Power Rangers Dino Charge decided to take the lead whenever something bad happens, like saying it's morphing time. Like, I actually like that in Power Rangers Dino Charge. Like, why couldn't we have that for Megaforce and Samurai? Just saying. Hell, other Power Ranger series from the Disney era managed to do that. Even the later Saban ones.
yeah. Megaforce did a morphin type for that, but not Samurai.
No, I mean each character saying it's morphin time by taking the league.
Uh,
Like, this is what I mean. So since it's basically Chase trying to go back to his family, it's his league on that. Riley, Coda, Shelby, Tyler, and Ivan, they all have to gather around together just to save Santa's computer so that way kids could get Christmas presents and anyone gets Christmas presents. Not just kids, but for everyone else. Yeah, like that. So I think I'm gonna go Christmas shopping this Friday. This Friday, that the fact that I have my $20 bill proves to me that I could use my any type of dollar bill. I'm not gonna spend it just like last year because you know how that went. As a matter of
Yeah.
fact, you weren't even there at the time in there. It's just me being all like, "Yep,
Yeah, I already finished Christmas stuffing. My mom been and my older brother been buying me that, so it's already delivered.
yeah." I think I'll probably like do another like yeah. I'm gonna do things accurately this time for Christmas in 2023 because the Christmas that I had in 2022 was kind of underwhelming in my opinion and somewhat
Oh yeah,
very disappointing. Just as disappointing as Legendary Battle from Super Mega and not to mention with the final battle in Cosmic Fury, which you know how all that went. And
oh, yeah,
yeah, and so meanwhile, with the Santa's computer, with trying to check on Ivan, the Gold Ranger, which is which Ivan is chosen to be good for a good reason and decided to join the Rangers and all that.
yeah,
Huh. Yeah. So let me fast forward that stuff so it won't be a waste of time because it'll be just memories from other series that we have never seen before. So, and if I did anything, then I apologize. I'm sorry for that. And
you're good.
thanks.
It's all good.
Yep. And now let's get back to the Rangers fighting, Vivix. And yeah.
Oh, definitely.
And speaking of the Vivix in this, I actually like their designs going for a more slimy look to it. They're like Triptoids from Dino Thunder, but much more like slime and all that type of stuff, and possibly better than Crybots from SBD.
Yeah.
But so in the meantime, what are your favorite Power Ranger like foot soldiers? Because mine would be like Tyrannodrones, uh, X-Borgs, which those are terrifying, and even with Triptoids, which those are cool, and even with the ones from Ninja Storm. I can't even remember their names. Are there like Calzax or anything?
Y- yeah, I think so. I'm not sure. I might have to look it up.
Yeah, but yeah. So, what are your favorite Power Ranger foot soldiers?
I'm gonna have to go with that Pteranodon from Dino Thunder the most. It's actually kind of cool, and Twitch toys or whatever you want to call it. They're actually my favorite foot soldier for that.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's cool, man. Looks like we have the same thing, and yep, the Rangers jump into the secret hideout where the monsters kidnapped Santa's computer, and they find him, and yep, and the monsters were running Poisandra and Ranch, and this yeah, you could run, but you can't hide. Yep, the Rangers jump into this hideout, and then they decided to take Santa's computer back, which is kind of nice and brave for the Rangers. And the Rangers get good for being good because they are superheroes, just like the Avengers, the Incredibles, Big Hero 6, the Fantastic Four, and even with the Super Sentai, as I mentioned, and any other superheroes, because they do things that no other superhero media has ever done before. So there's just that.
Indy.
Yeah. And there you go. Oh boy. Yep. Tyler checks in for Santa's computer, and they realize that they were good for a reason. And
I guess they became it for forgetting. See how they all started from beginning.
oh, and not to mention, yep, the monsters ran off, and then they wanted to stop by for something. And the monster that they have, there's no other choice that the monster has to fight is no other than is no other than the monster that they have to deal with is that guy right there. Yeah, that blue guy.
Oh wow. I love the designs for that.
Same here. And pretty easy for the Rangers to fight and all that stuff. And at the end, the monster gets destroyed so freaking easily. Just like any other monster in the Power Ranger franchise, which is kind of cool. Makes them stronger and all that stuff. And pretty amazing.
Mm.
And, well, then, Dino Fury Red and Dino Fury Green. Because as soon as I'm done with this podcast, I might as well go and watch Power Rangers Dino Fury, the Christmas special, after this podcast is done. And, yep, Tyler shoots the monster, and boom! It explodes into a fiery disaster. And Sledge was wearing a Santa Claus hat. Was wearing a Santa hat,
And
which is kind of silly, but I think I might check that out. Yeah, Sledge wearing a Santa hat, which is silly and very over the nose and all that. Oh my lord. And then back to the and then back to the monsters fighting and the Rangers. So for that, Rangers assemble. And
or muster instinct.
yeah. Mhm. I like it whenever Tyler goes like it's about to get wild, and then monsters extinct. Man, I actually like Tyler. He's one of my favorite Red Rangers growing up. Cause I even watched this along with Power Rangers Dino Thunder, and even with Megaforce, which I can't believe I used to like Megaforce at the time, but I think I have a love-hate relationship between Megaforce. But hey, it is really nostalgic for me for my childhood, as I remember collecting some of the figures, doing some music videos on the Megaforce, and then dressed up as Silver back in Halloween for 2014, which originally I was about to be the Super Mega Force Red Ranger, but they don't have any and all that, which is
Wow.
really nostalgic. Oh, hey, Mr. Dino Diego.
Hey,
Yep,
it's been a while since he joined
yeah.
the noise.
Me and Shamer decided to finish off this Power Ranger podcast, and then we're gonna move on to something unique. And yep, Ivan destroys this monster's hammer, and then Tyler finishes up with one final blow. And it is pretty amazing that the Dino Charge Megazord was like in Dinosaur Land, and yeah, I know it's basically Sentai footages, but the backgrounds and the dinosaurs look actually kind of cool. Not gonna lie.
Oh, indeed. Wow.
There, just like that. Like the Spinosaurus is there, the Brachiosaurus, the Stegosaurus, and I mean, having the Megazord in the background of the dinosaurs, they look kind of. It looks kind of nice, and yeah, it is kind of nice after all.
The only sounds that I like for the Power Rangers is the Twister sounds. It's really kind of cool.
Yeah, not to mention that Tyrannosaur, which has feathers. Which how come we don't see that in the beginning of Dino Charge? Because only the feather one that was just like in Tyler's like. And what's actually kind of cool about Dino Charge is that they have Zords that are like forms of dinosaurs, and then put them in Zords like that, which kind of reminds me of Dinosaur King, a TV show where each other card has a dinosaur and all that stuff, which I might talk about that in Dinosaur King. And yep, the monster explodes and monster vanquished.
Indeed. And I like the
Yep,
Tyrannosaurus sounds from Dino Thunder.
same here. Compared to what we see from something like Mighty Morphid, which has like a angry bull sound by saying "Rrr, rrr, rrr, rrr," like that. And yeah, it is. Uh, yep. So the Rangers decided to save Santa's computer and then put it back where it belongs. And
Mhm.
Santa decided to send Chase home because Chase didn't make it on time. And even the alien mentor Keeper, which Keeper is Keeper is kind of nice in both Power Rangers Dino Charge and Super Dino Charge. I mean Dino Supercharge, where he is calmed and a nice mentor to these Rangers whenever something bad happens or something exciting and all that stuff. I mean, he is kind of cool. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
And yeah, yeah, this is the moment where Keeper decides to cheer up for Chase. And yeah, yep. Well, poor Chase. At least he still has time and all that stuff. Because he's depressed, just like me when I was depressed back in 2022. Because that Christmas was extremely underwhelming and a major disappointment all over the place.
I had a good
And
Christmas.
Guess who came along into the command center? Santa.
Oh yes, Santa Claus. Ooh,
Yeah.
ooh,
I
ooh.
mean, whenever it's Christmas or anything, it's like Santa always appears in every other Christmas stuff all over the place. And what a lucky surprise. And then, yep, I really, I'm crossing my fingers to see if this Christmas turns out to be better than 2022's Christmas, because if this Christmas happens and if I get my presents, it'll definitely put a big smile on my face. Because if not, then I'll be more depressed than ever.
Yeah, me.
So, crossing my fingers, if this Christmas turns out better the way it is. Like,
Yeah.
2022's Christmas is basically like Avengers Infinity War, where Thanos snaps half the population, especially the heroes. And then Endgame, the heroes snapped the bad guys and bring the heroes back and brings back the population and all that stuff after 5 years.
Yeah.
So, in a way, I really hope my Christmas will be like Avengers Endgame, because I've been watching superhero medias for the past November, December, and all that type of stuff because I like superheroes. That's my thing. And yep, a big, big, big frame. So there you have it.
Hey, it's me, Dino. Dinosaur fan 1, 2, 3. I don't thank you.
Don't worry about that. I just wanted to say hi, and we're doing a Power Ranger podcast, and there. Yep, there's. Yep, yep, there's the big
Oh,
frame for Christmas. The best moments for Power Rangers Dino Charge, where Ivan, Keeper, Shelby, Tyler, Miss Morgan, Kendall, Chase, Coda, and Riley. And yeah, I really like this photo together, and it is pretty amazing, and everyone is all happy and all that stuff. But what's with Riley's face? Like, what's up with that? Uh, but I know it seems obvious, but it is what it is. But I actually like this. Seriously, I actually like this. Because I might do the same thing for my friends, and including you, Shamar, because you're a good friend of mine and the nicest friend I ever had on YouTube. A good Power Ranger fan
mm,
and a good hero fan in general. You're just as good as Hulkster and and Nick Hicks. Yeah, you're just as good as those guys and other YouTuber friends that I've
yeah,
met.
yeah. First time we met, it's back in, I believe it was November, but closer to Tuesday, where it's that
Oh,
one
not
I,
to mention Austin,
yeah.
which he is kind of cool too. So yeah, so I think I might do another podcast, another LBT podcast where not just on the Power Rangers, but other media stuff like Mission Marvel from Phineas and Ferb. And then this time I'll probably invite you in. I'll probably invite Hulkster in. And then I'll probably invite some superhero fans out there, which, yeah, it is kind of nice after all. And yeah, and that's just about it about the Christmas special for Power Rangers. Like yeah, that Christmas special known as
I know.
uh yeah, Race to the Rescue. Yeah, Race to the Rescue, which it is a good Christmas special, and yeah, so that's the only Christmas one that we're gonna do other than other Christmas specials and all that. So, yeah. And I think we're going to end off this podcast, this LBT podcast, because this turned out exactly the way it really is. And yeah, both Dino Fury Red and Dino Fury Green. And yeah,
Swoop.
like always, it's morphin' time. Uh-huh. So, yeah. Huh. So, how's the special? Yeah, it was really amazing and really epic, and not to mention, yeah, at least we had fun time with you, Anthony, and I in the Movie Universe's podcast for Power Rangers, which is pretty
Oh,
amazing. And I am so happy that I brought you into the podcast. I am so happy because
yeah.
without you, the podcast would have been like, I don't know, different for anything, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I am so happy that I get to let you know that Movie Universe decides to do his podcast. And, well, then, see you next time, Mr. Dino Diego. And, yeah, this podcast is really, really nice. And, yeah, the Power Ranger podcast with Power Rangers Dino Charge. And, bingo. And
Dino Fury.
it's about to get wild.
Let's get these guys.
And and not to mention,
Yeah.
and not to mention, Mr. Dino Diego, if you want to see that podcast on that me and Shamar just did with Movie Universe, I suggest going to Movie Fans channel or the Movie Universe for the Power Ranger Cosmic Fury live stream. Man, it was pretty amazing. And me and Shamar and Movie Universe, we had a fun time here, and it was pretty amazing. Oh, and not to mention,
Yeah,
there's also
indeed.
a Christmas one with the movie fan here. So I think I might as well check out those videos after that. So, and we'll see how that goes, especially with Cosmic Fury, and it is epic. And as Brody says, now that was epic, and it is. Yesterday's live stream with Movie Universe, and so does this. So that was epic.
That was more phenomenal.
Of course. So epic as usual. So yeah. And now let's end off this podcast. And this is LBT here. See you guys later. And hope you all have a good Christmas. And if I get bored or anything, then we'll do like another podcast, I believe. Yeah, another podcast. But maybe some other time. So, anyways, hope you guys enjoy. And LBT here. See you guys later. And once a Ranger, always a Ranger. And Power Rangers forever.
Power Rangers forever.
Rangers together, defending together.
Together.
And let's end this off.